Hi, everyone. I'm Dean Butler, and I just thought that as we are nearing completion on this project, it would be a nice time to share a little bit of the background about how all this came together. Now, most of you who are watching this know me because of this. There have been other things, but mostly it's this. We're here in Santa Monica, California, finishing an all-new documentary about Laura Ingalls Wilder called Little House on the Prairie, The Legacy of Laura Ingalls Wilder. I have some pictures and some video that I want to show you from throughout our shoot and our production process, so let's just get started. I flew to Minneapolis in late October and drove to Pepin, Wisconsin on a rainy, cold day. My goal became to stay warm and to keep my camera dry so I could get the pictures that I needed to get. So we shot at Wayside and at the Pepin Museum and at Lake Pepin. It was beautiful, beautiful country. Cold, but beautiful. On my way out of town, it started to snow unexpectedly, and so I pulled off the highway and shot a few minutes of snowfall. I didn't know at that time exactly how much of the footage of the snowfall would work for us, but I knew we'd use it somewhere in the movie, and we have, and you'll see it. The next day, I was in Spring Valley, Minnesota. The Spring Valley Historical Society provided me with some wonderful historic stills of the town and Almanzo's family farm. The current owners of Almanzo's family farm told me that they were preparing to tear down the barn because it's in total disrepair. So a piece of history will be lost, but I got some great video of the exterior, so a record of its existence will continue to exist for many years to come. So I was very grateful that I actually got there to be able to do that. After about 4 hours in Spring Valley, I moved on to Burr Oak. And once in Burr Oak, and I've been there before for celebrations, but we shot around town and in the Masters Hotel and got the footage that we needed to briefly tell Laura's story that took place in Burr Oak all those many years ago. But some of that footage actually ended up doubling for the interior of the surveyor's house in DeSmet, but that's another story which I'll save for another time. You come to think, being a Little House person, that the Little House museum sites are the only homages to America's 19th century past, but it's just not true. The Living History Farms in Urbandale, Iowa are one of those special places. And as I shot their school and the bank and their 1840s farm, there were also some great demonstrations, including broom making, which we shot for the program. I spent the night in Urbandale and drove the next morning to the Hoover Library in West Branch, Iowa. Rose Wilder Lane's papers are stored in the archives at the Hoover Presidential Library, and it's a treasure trove for Little House on the Prairie aficionados, all there for research and study. One of the things that I was looking for the program were experts. Experts about Laura, but also experts about 19th century life. And at Kansas University in Lawrence, Kansas, I met experts, and we shot interviews there with Assistant Professor Tanya Hart. She was amazing. Ty Edwards, who just got her PhD in Native American Studies. Congratulations, Ty. Professor Rita Napier, Kim Warren, and Sean Alexander, an African American Studies professor. After Lawrence, Kansas, it was on to Sioux Falls and then to DeSmet, South Dakota for 4 days of reenactments. I owe an enormous debt of gratitude to both the Ingalls Homestead and the Laura Ingalls Wilder Memorial Society in DeSmet. The dozens of volunteers who came out to play the parts of the Ingalls family and members of the community were all wonderful. Having spent some time in my life in front of a camera, I can tell you this is not an easy task, but they just stepped in like pros and behaved like people. The casting was all done before I ever got there by Marion Kramer and Dr. Orville Van Diest. We got to De Smet and just started shooting. We shot our interview with historian John Miller at the Ingalls homestead. Later, we shot Laura and Almanzo's wedding in a local bed and breakfast. In the days ahead, we shot outside with horses and wagons, and inside a little house replica, an original shanty, a recreated dugout house, a recently restored church, and a wonderful 19th century one-room school. De Smet is a living museum celebrating Laura's time there, and we shot all over it. And as I came to learn during our time shooting in De Smet, this was a family event for many of our cast. Moms, dads, and children were all together, taking part in sharing a piece of history. So they took it very seriously and dedicated themselves to doing it well. Since we were trying to cover parts of the entire book series, I had 3 Lauras, Marys, and Carries in De Smet. There was child Laura, Taylor Horning, tween Laura, Sarah Schofield, and young adult Laura, Caitlin Ostrander. After all these years, I've come to feel that there's a little bit of Laura in every girl. And while I worked most closely with the world's most beloved Laura, each of these De Smet girls shared their essence of Laura freely and fully. Ma and Pa were played by Perry Anderson and Peggy Nelson, and my favorite character, Almanzo Wilder, was played by Lucas Anderson. I had only one Midwestern shoot left, in Walnut Grove, Minnesota. I shot at Plum Creek and worked with 2 very lovely young ladies, Miranda Ankrum and Stacy Hansen. It was a cold, windy afternoon, but they were troopers. I came back to Los Angeles and interviewed writer Pamela Smith Hill. She is wonderful in the program. We also commissioned illustrations depicting Laura's life from artist Cheryl Harness. Then there was a day shooting book writing reenactments, as well as interviews and stand-ups with a group of Berkeley Hall School 4th grade children, whose curriculum includes Laura's books. Since early November, I've been in the editing room cutting this movie. It's taken 6 months, but we're nearly finished. I am so grateful to all the people who have stepped up to help make it happen. My dear friend and producing partner, Robin Bernheim-Berger, my friend and editor, Alex, motion graphics artist, Martin, and our wonderful composer and my old friend, Jay Asher. All these people have given their best, and the result is a tribute to their talents and their passion to do a great job. I hope you enjoy our program as much as we loved making it. You can contact me at my blog, legacydocumentaries.com/blog, on Twitter at Laura's LH Legacy, and at Facebook at Dean Butler, Laura's Little House Legacy. Tell your friends about us and enjoy the program. I'm Dean Butler. Many thanks for watching.